Hey, brothers and sisters, I want to go in and kind of combine, and everybody. Brothers and sisters as in humanity, you know. I want to go connect the first video, which was about the fear of God. Then I want to connect, and then I went to the next video, which was that He's our Heavenly Father, and looking at it from those two perspectives. And then yesterday I went into about trying, trying to pursue Him, trying to get up, trying to live, trying to choose life, trying to choose blessings, trying to choose hope, and all that's going on in this world, and everything with what you're seeing with your eyes is it's like it's dark, it's scary, it's horrifying, it's rough. It's like, where is God? Where is this? And it's just, terror, He says the arrow that flies by day and the terror that comes at night, in regards to what the enemies are doing. The devil, the principalities, the fallen angels, the demons, and the wicked and evil men who willfully choose to join that side and walk in that wickedness and betrayal against God. The devil was originally with God, then turns against him, persuades a third of the angels to turn against him. And here we are as man in that same resemblance. And here you are trying to follow God in this world where many have just willfully joined the devil's side. And it's dark. There's people oppressed, murdered. There's just so much wickedness going on, and in it can be so overwhelming to have hope. You're like, I want to have hope, but everything's stacked up against me. And you see it and you know it, and it feels rigged. You're like, this is rigged. It is set up. Every time I try to get up, it's too hard. It's too difficult. And I get hurt. I get obliterated. I get broken. I'm so tired. And then you get frustrated. And that's how, that fire that we were talking about yesterday, about that fire in the corner of your room and how you don't want to look at it. And because pain and fear of getting hurt again, you're like, screw that. Like, absolutely not. No chance do I want to go through that again. And you don't do anything. But after a while, you realize it's not living. I was out in Hawaii and I'm surfing, and I'm at North Shore. Some of the biggest waves in the world are there. And this is a while ago, and I'm relatively learning, brand new to surfing. But people, if you know me or people that do know me, it's like I'm about it. It's like, let's ride. Like, even if new or not, I'm up for the challenge. And so we go out there, and it's probably like 8 foot waves that day, and I'm brand new, first time. Current is strong, and I'm out there paddling by myself. And I remember I got held down in the current for a minute, just trying to even get out there because my board was too small, and the buoyancy was low, and it was sinking for how big I am. And anyhow, I end up getting out there, and the waves are just, I'm in awe. I'm having a blast just seeing the power of the waves, for how powerful and mighty they are, and how tiny I am compared to them. I felt like a kid. It's awing but freeing at the same time, because you see a power so much greater than you that brings comfort, because you're like, there's such a power out there that I knew not of, when you really get out there and see some waves, and you're way out there. Sharks aren't even a concern anymore at this point. The waves are just so massive. You're like, I'm going to get obliterated, but they're so fun that you're like, you know what? I'm riding this wave. And so here I am, brand new, not knowing squat about anything. And I got a soft top board, and here I am trying to catch this massive, these are like walls. You're laying down on your stomach on a board and just look up, and it's like a wall of water as far to the left as right as you can see, and it's coming. There's no getting around it. And you turn and you're like, all right, let's ride this wave. You set yourself up and everything, and you ride it. And whether you get launched or not, that day in this story of what happened is I didn't get hurt, I didn't get catapulted, I didn't, get wrecked or anything. But anyhow, I'm bold. Oh, I'm so bold. I'm so bold. I have no idea how bold I am because I'm so ignorant of the dangers of what can happen. I have no idea about how obliterated I can get and how dangerous this is. Just truly like a child, not having any idea that the stove can burn me or get hit by a car. Just have no idea. But I do it and I ride, and I don't stand up or anything. But I'm like staying on my like my knees and then my stomach, and I ride that one huge wave in probably like 400 yards all the way to shore. And I'm just thankful because I've been so tired trying to paddle out there because it was super far and the currents were strong. So that's the first day. Then day 2 comes along. Day 2, I'm out there, and now I get wrecked. I get absolutely obliterated, and the fear came in that day. And being held down, being propelled headfirst, coral reef all over, the waters aren't that tall at certain spots, and you realize and you get that awakening of how dangerous and scary this can and or will be if you attempt to do it again. And there's fear. I mean, I remember the second time I was like, I paused surfing like that whole day. I was like, how I even survived that was like a miracle. I'm standing up in like a certain spot. We're at not Waikiki side, but we're at a spot pretty close to Waikiki on Oahu, and probably like 4 foot waves that day. And what ends up happening is I'm survived. I'm persuaded like angels pretty much lifted me up practically to keep me afloat. And the reason why I tell you both of these stories of one where I have no idea about fear and the dangers of what I'm stepping into, and then the next day where I get obliterated, miraculously survive, and now I'm horrified to do it. If day 3 ever comes along, and that's if you're even willing to try again, you now know of how dangerous your situation is going to be for you to try again. And it can easily be entertaining and even desired to be like, screw that, I'm not doing that again. I don't want it, even though you loved it. Let's not forget, you loved it. You loved whatever it was that you were doing. You loved it, and you were like, this is so awesome, I love this. But then boom, you get obliterated, hurt, heartbroken, whatever it is, and whatever the situation is, it's like, this is so scary. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to go through that pain. I don't want to try again. Screw it. And then you do that for a while, and then you don't surf for a while. You're like, no, I ain't surfing. Nope, not at all. Oh, the waves, they're good today. That's nice. I hope you have a great one. It's like, no, you don't care because you're like, I can't afford for that danger and fear to come close to me again. And in that, though, now that you have both perspectives, you're not ignorant anymore. That's where the beauty comes in. You have an opportunity to be courageous and bold. See, when you first went out there, you were ignorant. You didn't know no better. There's no courage there. There's no aspect of being brave. You had no idea about how obliterated you could be and or get and wrecked and everything. You just willfully did it and didn't know the dangers. But after you had gotten hurt or wrecked or whatever this story is for you in regards to whatever you're scared of, whatever did hurt you, you do have to be bold. Ante up. Go round 2. I don't care. Round 1,000. You're like, I've tried 999 times. I don't care. It might be that 1,000th time. The only difference is this time you ante up, and you ante up with the Lord. You take refuge in Him. You run to Him. You have faith in Him. Whatever it is He's telling you to do that you're scared to do, because you're like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to try things. I don't want to try and then fail again. I'm so tired of trying and then failing and having hope. It's easier for me not to have hope. It's easier for me not to dream. It's easier for me not to desire. It's so much easier to not desire at times. But that's when you're callous. Your heart's hardened. You don't want to share it because you don't want to get wounded and damaged again. So you're like, I'm going to tuck it deep and I'm going to hide it. No pain. But really, that's kind of like the worst pain because you're so numb. There's no fruitfulness of life. There's no beauty in anything. There's no joy. There's no adventurous ambition in God and His creation and who He is and finding out and exploring and wonder because you're so scared of everything. You won't go past waist deep in the water. You won't take a chance. You won't explore and you miss out on everything. And I'm telling you to try again, to ante up, to realize what you've been through. And this time will be more courageous and beautiful than ever, especially if you make it out there, especially if you're standing up on the board that time. And if you don't and you get knocked down, it's going to hurt and it's going to be hard, no doubt. But try again. But the key about all of this is you have to try and take refuge in the Lord while you're trying. Run to Him. Get used to running to Him. Get in your closet, your prayer closet. Ask if it's what He desires. Ask if it's His will. And then if He tells you, you stand firm on that. And then even if it's not looking like what He said, have faith. Have faith. Lean not to your understanding, but trust in God with your whole heart, your entire heart. Be brave. Have a blessed one.